we need to understand that whatever we're thinking is going to come from our perspective. Always will come from our perspective. It's going to come from what we've learned, who we've spoken to, our influences in life, and those kind of things. So what I'm going to look at today is that, let's say hypothetically I want a different result. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. What must I do in order to actually make sure that I have 100% different result in life? Okay. How clever was I that I didn't have to type that out? Look at me. And fantastic. So this is what we're focusing on, results. What must I do? So if we think about all of this, what kind of things could we be saying? Now, when you see the word result, automatically, I don't know about you, but because I come from a financial background, automatically my results go to money, finances, all those kind of things. So I could want a different result in my money. Okay. What other things could we want a different result in?
The way you run your house.
Your household? Household, yeah.
Your health and fitness.
Health. Tessa, you said something?
Relationships.
Relationships, yes, relationships. Health and we said health, but what about dieting, ladies?
No, we said fitness.
Fitness. Relationships, and that could be wives, husbands,
Even
children,
your work,
your actually different, your goals in life, your goals, whether it's corporate goals, household goals, whatever it might be. So all of us always focus on results, and that's where we go wrong. Every single one of us spends so much time focusing on the result that we're not understanding there's a process to that result. And that's what we're missing out on. And so we must often think to ourselves that we're not going to change anything in our lives if we keep focusing on the result. So if I had to ask us the question, what is the thing that's going to help us to change? If I want to change my results, what else must I look at? I need to start looking at something else. And that would be, I need to start looking at, and we've seen this many times before, and you've probably heard this, if I don't change my behavior, I'm never going to get different results. Isn't that so? And so our behavior actually drives our results. And if we have a look at all of these things, we need to understand that insanity, as Einstein says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting what?
A different result.
A different result. Okay. So we are going through all these things in our lives. We're doing the same thing. So I take myself, for example, with dieting. So I get on this diet plan. I'm Monday to Friday. I am good. I've probably lost a good old 500 grams Monday to Friday. And then comes Friday. And then I've got to have Friday evening. And then I've got to have like some dips and chips or some cheese and on biscuits. And we've got to add that with a glass of wine. Sorry for you that don't drink, but I enjoy my glass of wine. And then comes Sunday, we've got to go and have a Sunday outing, and off we go. And then we eat everything that we don't think about. So we'll have maybe a curry and rice or something like that, or sushi. And then we get back on the scale on Monday, and guess what? We're up that kilo we've up a kilo, but we lost half last week. So now we're despondent, and what happens is we go back to focusing on the result. But what we're not focusing on is, how do I change my behavior? What is it that I need to change? And that's where you and I need to spend some time. I specifically had to spend so much time saying, how do I readjust what I'm doing on the weekend in order to make sure that even if I'm still the same Friday's weight and Monday's weight, I didn't gain the weight. And then I can start again on Monday and go through a process. But that's something I need to process. Tessa needs to process it differently, and Serena needs to process it differently. So it's our behavior. So then I ask you the question is, okay, big deal, Michelle, I haven't changed my behavior. But what happens? Literally, in 2 weeks, what do? We're back to the old pattern, aren't we? We're back to the old pattern. How many times have we done a month or a 21-day fast or diet and come back, we gain it. But when we gain it, we all know we gain more, isn't it? And we gain faster, always. So, what drives our behavior? And we need to remember that if we don't address our thoughts drive our behavior.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's actually very interesting, hey? Because if I don't address my thought pattern, we need to address this. This is the most powerful thing, and Bible actually addresses this. What does it say? It says 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5b. It actually tells you and I we need to renew our thoughts. So we need to sit back and we need to actually wanting, and this is why I say we spend so much time here that we don't spend time at looking at what is going wrong here, and then we don't spend time going saying, okay, what am I thinking about this? What am I telling myself about this? And so it is, and we go through this, and then what do? We self-condemn. Come Monday, we self-condemn. And what happens when we self-condemn? Oh, I might as well eat another cookie.
So let me show you.
Let me show
you. I will have more cookie.
I will have more cookie, and you're not going to tell me.
It's not working. It's in your case,
Do you
it's
see?
not working.
And you know what happens? It's actually a psychological thing, and for those ladies that are psychologists, and I'm not a psychologist by any means, I'm a trainer, and I have gone through this process, many things.
But you feel the psychology.
But you feel the
in you.
psychology in me. It like goes through me. Now you make me forget what I was actually going to say. But going back to our thoughts and our reality of it is that from a psychology perspective, it actually tells us that if we don't spend time here, we're never going to address here. We're going to, because we live here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the number of thoughts that go through our mind on a daily basis, and we're not taking them captive, how do I renew my mind? How do I renew my mind? So what happens is we think, okay, I'm going to diet, I'm not going to do this, and then what happens is then it doesn't work, okay? And then psychology is, it's called the kick me syndrome. I told you it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So, here. I'm not going to do it. And it's a kick me
So
syndrome.
it's your inner skinny telling your inner fat.
It's like tuning you, and there goes the conversation. You see, I told you it wasn't going to work. See how it is? And what happens
Nothing
is,
ever works.
nothing.
You cannot stick to
You see, you
anything.
can't stick to
You're
anything.
useless.
You're hopeless. And what do we have? We replay the bad record.
Yeah.
And why are we doing this? And it's all because, ladies, thank you so much. We've had an amazing session on the detox. So it's all about detoxing yourself, detoxing your wardrobe, detoxing your body and your
body,
mind,
soul,
and so
and
body,
spirit.
soul, and spirit.
Absolutely.
So please share this with your family and friends. This is on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe so you can get some really more input from us. And also we are on Instagram. There's some amazing input there on our Instagram. Prefer Pinterest. You'll find everything on Pinterest as well. So ladies, we thank you so much. Take care. Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Bye.